Hey, what's going on? Ryan here, Triathlon.com. And if you're watching this video, we are talking about Ironman California coming up as of right now. It's October 19th. Race is October 24th. I'm based here in Kansas City, and the race is in Sacramento, California. So I'm going off the information I can get off the internet, which is a great wealth of resources and knowledge and information these days. But I'm personally not racing it. I have athletes that are racing it. I've made plans for people that are racing it. And I've done reviews like I talked about in all the other videos I've done on different races. Usually I have someone doing the race, and usually they're interested in what's going on, so I do my take and deliver the information to them. And now I'm just videoing it for everybody to kind of get benefit from. But, so I got my video over here, monitoring what's going on with the broadcast, and over here I've got comments. So I'll be looking over here. If you got any comments, put them in there on the video. So as we're going along, if you got any questions or anything on what I would suggest or recommend, because it's looking like this year is going to be interesting out there in Sacramento for race day. But we'll go over that later. But if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments there. And hopefully the background noise is at a minimum so you can hear me just fine. So let's dive into it. If you go look on good old Ironman California's website, average air temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be super comfortable. And our average water temperature of 65 degrees Fahrenheit, which I did a little video about the swim. People have been in there, and I'm thinking they should find a place, especially with the kind of cooler temps and rain they're predicting to get. They should find a section somewhere in that river that is going to be cold enough for wetsuit legal. So I bring your wetsuits, bring your speed suit, just in case. You never know if you want to qualify age groups, and it's wetsuit optional. Just make sure you're prepared. But my gamble is going to be on wetsuit legal, but don't take my word for it. Always come prepared like a Boy Scout, and you won't be disappointed. So, diving into it, what I like to do is, Ironman's website is great, but hopefully, like everybody else this day and age, you got your phone apps, and you're stalking the weather like crazy. I know you're already seeing it in the Facebook groups. So, I like to go to a couple different places. So, weather.com is kind of my, the main go-to, but I also like timeanddate.com. It has some historical information you look on, but you know, if we're looking at it today for 2021 on race day, Sunday, October 24th, 58 degrees for a high, overcast with rain showers at times, potential for heavy rainfall, high of 58, winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour, chance of rain 60%. At night, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers, low of 53, winds 15 to 25, chance of rain 60%, 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. So, for me, that wouldn't be really much of a change for my Ironman season thus so far. So 7.3 Des Moines, it rained and changed cut the bike course in half. Actually, we started in the rain, but by the time we got out of the water onto the bikes, it kind of dried up and wasn't a problem. Ironman Tulsa, rained the entire bike ride, 112 miles in the rain in Oklahoma. But luckily it was in the 70s, so it wasn't cold rain per se. And I just got done with 70.3 Memphis. Rained and it was torrential at times, but luckily it was in the upper 70s, so it was still warm, and so being cold in the rain wasn't a problem. But for you people doing Ironman California, 58 degrees is getting cold, especially if you're going to be in the rain on that bike. So my recommendations, layer up, man. I got Under Armour long sleeves that I'll wear underneath stuff. I've got riding jackets, so at this point in time, I would kind of toss aerodynamics to the side and focus on warmth, layers. So like I said, I do an Under Armour. I might do another like long sleeve shirt and then a jacket over that. I mean, especially if it tops out at 58 degrees and the wind's blowing at 25 miles an hour. At times, you're going to have a wind chill. You're going to be wet. You want layers because you don't want to go hypothermic on the bike. That will ruin your day. Goes without saying, probably. But layers are the key. I would definitely invest in gloves with grips, so make sure they have a good grippy surface on the fingers so you can do your shifting and hold on to your handlebars and stuff, hold on to water bottles and all that good stuff. And shoe covers, I would get some of those to keep your feet kind of warm and as dry as possible. 112 miles in the rain, especially if it's heavy, you're really not going to stay dry anywhere. I would recommend long or pants or whatever underneath either bike or tri shorts. So basically layers. I would cover all exposed skin. I don't think you're going to get frostbite or anything, but I think there's going to be a situation where you're going to get cold, and the longer you are out there in the cold with the wind chill, especially on the bike going at speed, especially with the wind at 25 miles an hour, you're playing a dangerous game if you're not layered up or prepared. It would be better that you're over prepared so you can shed stuff at aid stations if you need to, but just be ready and be ready to stay warm on the bike. Maybe get a protective jacket, pack one of those that will, if I'm a rain jacket, it's a little bit more waterproof, watertight, so you can have that in the upper half. So when you're riding around, you're not as saturated up on top. But basically, it's going to be a game of attrition, I think, on a bike course. And I would consider maybe lowering your air tire pressure a little bit so you get a little bit more traction in the rain on the wet pavement. And just play it safe out there. Like I said, the bike's not a time to necessarily kill it anyway, but this is the time to be safe than sorry. Better to add 10 minutes to your bike time than trying to go through a corner too fast and slipping and ending up on the pavement with an injury or damaging your bike or something like that. So that being said, just be prepared for the rain and for the cold. But what's interesting, if you look at past historical information, the highs are about 80s, the lows are in the 50s. Average precipitation, you're getting 0.13 of an inch. It's really not the rainy season, and it's been extremely dry out there lately, so this is probably welcome for that area to get all this rain, but the problem is they're going to get too much rain, and we don't want that rain. So, I did look at historical information, so if you look at October 24, 2020, it reached about the average at Ironman, so it's 71 degrees, 12 mile per hour for the winds. Humidity was up there a little bit, but really nothing too drastic and killer. It was pretty sunny. Would have been a perfect day in 2020, if not for the whole pandemic situation, but I digress. If you look at 2019, it's a little bit warmer. It got to 90 degrees, but, a little bit of winds, 15 miles per hour, keep it a little bit cool, but overall, a pretty warm day. So 2019, 2020, pretty decent. Look at the average temperatures, it would have been spot on, but this year I think it's going to be a little bit different. So historically, I think you want to prepare for sun, have the skin protective with sunscreen and just be ready for a little bit of warmth to make sure you're doing hydration and everything. But this year is going to be a little cold. Like I said before, pardon the background noise, just be prepared for the cold. Make sure that you're staying in your hydration plan. A lot of people tend to forget, when you're wet and when you're cold, you're not taking as much hydration and nutrition. You still need that because you're still doing 26.2 miles. And being conservative on the bike gives you an opportunity to be a little bit more aggressive on the run, especially on a flat run like this. So just make sure that on the bike, nutrition, hydration, set your timers, set your reminders, whatever you got to do, because people forget about it fairly quickly, when the temperatures are low, when it's not hot, when it's raining. The last thing you're thinking about is taking on liquids and nutrition and all that kind of good stuff. So just make sure to be prepared out there. Dial it back a little bit on the effort and then focus more on nutrition and hydration to set yourself up for a good run. Like I said, historically, this is definitely not going to be historically accurate as far as the weather goes. Usually it's been from the 90s to the 70s, and historically it's in the upper 70s with no rain, but 2021 is going to be a little different. But hopefully this is what you're going through whenever you're doing any of your races. So if you're looking at this later for Ironman California 2022, hopefully you're looking at weather.com, you look at timeanddate.com. If you look at timeanddate.com, you want to do 14-day forecast for Sacramento. You want to look at October 24th. It's pretty much the same. Rain, overcast, 54 degrees for the temperature, what it feels like, 58 degrees for the high, 49% chance of humidity, 80% chance of precipitation, 0.8 inches, so it's a little lower, but they're basically matching up with weather.com. It's going to be kind of a cool, and it's going to be a rainy day, so just be ready for that. Timeanddate.com does say on Saturday, before, there's potentially no rain expected, whereas if you look at weather.com, they're predicting a little bit of rain, 58% on Friday. Friday, Sunday. You look on Saturday, and they got a little bit there too. So look at your different apps, weather.com, timedate.com. Make sure you're getting all that information. Look at the historical information. If you're doing this race, or if you're looking to do this race later and you're watching this video, I think this year is going to be an abnormality. I think usually it's going to be pretty warm, pretty dry. So if you're looking for that kind of warmer but coolish race, October 24th in California should be a little bit more relaxed and dialed back, but you get what you get in 2021. Pandemic in 2020 has happened, and just all bets are off. Even the weather's not playing along friendly. So hopefully this helps you out. If it did, I didn't see any comments during the video, give it a like. If you're seeing this on Facebook, if you're seeing this on YouTube later on a replay, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Hit the notifications button to see future notifications. I'm going to do videos on the athlete guide, spectator guide, where the spectators should hang out, and everything like that. So hopefully this is helping you out. If it is, add more information you'd like to see, like it, comment on it, do all that good stuff, just so I know you're out there and you're watching it, and know that this is helping you guys out. So with that, happy training, and right now, happy taper, and good luck, and we'll see you at the finish line.